Hello, everybody. You're listening to Topic Talk. I'm here with my co-host.
Zach Stone.
Okay, Zach. So we're going to tell you a little bit about ourselves, but first, why don't we talk a little bit about the show? What we'd like to do is Zach and I can talk about everything. We can banter back and forth. We can talk about stuff for days.
It's just anything.
It's pretty much everything. So what we decided because we're going to Specs Howard School of Broadcasting. We figured we'd start up a little podcast just so you could kind of hear our conversations. You can contribute to our conversations. We would love if you would contribute. Because him and I could go back and forth all day. We kind of need some people to keep us on track. So, we're going to start with a little bit about ourselves. I'll start off with me. I'm Aaron Klingingsmith. I'm graduated high school in 2012. I'm an Eagle Scout. Yay! And like I said, I'm going to Specs Howard School of Broadcasting. Fun fact, originally I went to school to become you ready for it? Autopsy assistant. Isn't that gross? Well, I thought it was something fun. I still think it's something fun, and I might pursue it one day. But right now, my love of music is taking over. So, Zach, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself?
All right. I'm a bit young. I graduated literally last year, freshman at Specs Howard. Originally, I wanted to go in for graphics, but then my love for voice acting overcame, and I thought, why not do a radio like Robin Williams and whatnot? Uh, I I am a man of a lot of talents. I like to draw, act, dance, sing, beatbox, do voices, impressions, paint, anything you can do, I can do better.
See, and it's funny because you probably don't believe him. I can tell you this guy has more talent in his pinky finger than I do in my entire body. It's really funny. Actually, one of the things that intrigued me about Zach originally was when I heard him beatboxing in class. You want to give him a little beatbox?
All right. Yeah, drop down. Here we go.
It's
That's just a
again
little sample.
there was nothing I was playing. That was literally just microphone and him. The dude he's got some talents, and we kind of wanted to share that with the world too.
And with certain episodes, because of my voice acting abilities, we'll have like a disclaimer use. We'll have certain guests, but it's actually going to be me. So for celebrity guests, like say Christopher Walken, from certain movies, we all got certain things we got to do, but I like to be guests. Or Arnold, I used to be a governor, but then I quit to go in crappier movies. So
And the biggest movie he became was Governor.
yeah.
Dun-dun. So this is just a little show. Like I said, we would love if you would contribute. Those of you that are listening us through Spreaker, which is probably on Facebook, we don't really know how long that version of our show is going to last in terms of length per show.
And hopefully, if we get popular enough, we'll start up ending on YouTube and get some popularity there.
Actually, fun fact, we can go on YouTube
Ooh.
because of the program that I'm using. But we are using two different programs. So if you go to www.buffysdjing.club, yes, I know it's a really weird name, we can broadcast there for up to probably as long until they kick us off.
Sounds like a
that
DJ Chuck E. Cheese.
That website is my dear friend and technically my boss, or our boss, is DJ Buffy, Brandon Buffy of Buffy's DJing service. And I'm not advertising, I'm just saying this is his thing and I borrow it. We borrow it on Monday nights.
We're poor.
We are poor. I don't have a website. I have the stuff because I'm in broadcasting school, and he has the website and the broadcasting program. So he shares that with me, and I share my stuff with him. So it kind of all works out in the end.
Sharing is caring.
Like I said, Zach and I can talk forever about anything. So sometimes we need somebody to kind of keep us back on topic.
Sometimes we'll get off topic, but
all the time we get off topic. What are you talking about?
Yeah, we do. But what we're really originally going to try to do is usually do every Monday. Sometimes there are other days of the week if we can't do Monday.
If we can do a fun day Monday.
But
Hey, that could be a thing.
Yeah, but usually we'll do a topic name of our thing, Topic Talks, where we'll try to do one topic and stick on it. It won't happen.
And on that note, why don't we try to stick on the topic that we know we're not going to stick on?
Probably, yeah.
By the way, you can use that later if you ever want to. Okay, so our first topic, we told you a little bit about ourselves. Like I said, this is a show we're just doing for fun. We don't make any money off of it. We hope to because because of our love of music and voices and stuff like that. It kind of fit. So, our first topic. What did we decide our first topic was going to
It
be?
was either going to be Star Wars or 2015.
Let's go with 2015. I'd like to talk about the past year. So 2015 was a kind of a cool year for me.
It was sadness for me.
Well, when it came to Doctor Who, I was pretty sad.
It came to school.
Yeah, it's good. I mean, I love Specs Howard. It's a great school. If you just, again, not advertising, but if you want to go to Specs Howard, it's a great school for broadcasting.
It's awesome.
Just, it's all hands on, and it's actually Specs Howard School of Media Arts. But anyway, no, back to the past year. The past year for me has been pretty cool. Like I said, we're both a little bit of kind of geeks, and we like this little show called Doctor Who.
I mean, sure we're geeks, but we don't look like geeks, ladies.
I look like a redneck, and by the way, I am taken off the market.
Ladies.
Anyway.
Or gentlemen. I swing both ways.
Okay, so anyway, the past year for me has been pretty cool. Like I said, Doctor Who, on that front, it's been kind of depressing because of the latest Doctor, who was played by Peter Capaldi.
That old ass fart.
But it wasn't the fact that he could have been a very good Doctor. And I guess our first topic is going to be Doctor Who.
He's serious now.
But I like how they made him a little bit more serious. But the problem with that is the writing.
True.
The thing that really made the Doctor Who world, or Whovian world, really mad was when they got rid of his signature sonic screwdriver. That was a thing, and they moved on to a thing called sonic sunglasses. For those of you that don't know, Doctor Who...
Sunglasses now? I thought it was a cane.
No, it's sunglasses.
Sadness.
So, for those of you that don't know, Doctor Who is a sci-fi show on BBC. It is about a
it's
guy
basically one of the oldest TV shows in the world.
It is. It is 50 years old.
60.
60 years old. It is about a guy who is named the Doctor. He comes from this race called a Time Lord.
Spoiler alert, not his real name.
Yeah. Anyway, so, but that's kind of the basis of the show. One of his things is that he has this thing called the sonic screwdriver. It can open doors, and
it can do almost anything unless it had a lock. What's it called?
Unless it's a wooden door. It was a wooden door.
It was unless it's wood or had a certain lock thing to it.
But it's really funny. It's a really funny show, and if you haven't checked it out, I would.
I would recommend it, even though the new season's kind of just still, I would recommend to watch it. Watch David Tennant and Matt Smith. They're the best.
I'm going to suffer through Peter Capaldi because I feel like where they're going with this, I may like in the end. But if you are going to start, I would recommend you first start with the 2009 version.
Christopher Eccleston.
Yes. With his, he was the 9th Doctor. There were 8 other Doctors before him.
And had the hot assistant Rose.
And originally, the show was based upon a guy who... it was supposed to be like a learning show.
It was like...
The whole thing of... Because the Doctor regenerates. The whole thing of the regeneration...
Basically sci-fi Alien with a bit of British comedy.
It is. It's got a lot of British comedy.
Because it's British.
But the cool part about it is... when it started, it wasn't originally. He wasn't supposed to regenerate, but the actor that was playing the Doctor wasn't doing very well health-wise. So his health was slowly declining while the show was gaining in popularity. This is the first Doctor, mind you.
Oh, speaking of that, the second Doctor was the general guy from the Star Wars?
I did not.
That's awesome, yeah.
Anyway, so to get in a little bit background history, but the regeneration idea came up when he knew he would no longer be able to do the show, but it was so popular, and the regeneration caught on. Now there was a reboot in 2009. That's what we're telling you should go and watch first.
Basically, the old show started 1960 to like 1987,
Yes.
and then they had a movie in like 2000 with uh, Eric Roberts or Lee Roberts, Julia Roberts' brother, who I've met him in real life. He's an asshole.
I'm
He,
sorry.
as the Master, and then they just don't even explain how the Ninth Doctor comes to be. But
Well,
yeah, it's a good show. Just watch it.
It became very popular with the 2009 reboot. I didn't start watching it until the 10th Doctor, who was played by David Tennant, who was very awesome. All of them, all the way from 9 until what are we on now?
We're technically 13, but 12 Doctor.
9 through 11 were kind of wacky. They were fun.
They were
But
awesome. Sometimes serious.
9 could be very serious a lot of the time.
No, so, well,
10
all
and
of them can be
11.
serious.
Well, yes, but 10 and 11 were more wacky than 9.
The 9 and 12.
And 12 was one. Anyway, getting back.
Yeah,
so
let's get back to our topic at 2015.
So the sonic screwdriver was his thing. It was his tool. It could open doors. It could tell him what a species was. It's a very cool tool. They decided to get rid of it. The writers got rid of that and made it sonic sunglasses. Basically, so he held the edge of his sunglasses and it made the same noise as the sonic screwdriver. The way they went about it is just because it loses effect. Before he would like dramatically point at something and he could see what it was, like it would just tell him. Well, this one, it didn't even really, he held it and you heard the noise and then that was it. And he just kind of looked at it and looked like he was looking off into space.
Yeah.
And it didn't flow.
They just need to have a new writer for the show that's a big fan. They just need that.
Well, and they are getting that. A new
good.
producer, actually. A new producer because the original producer, which happened this year, we'll get onto that later. But they need they're getting a new producer because the old one decided he just didn't want to do it anymore. So anyway, back to our 2015 kind of recap.
What was that? Like the sad thing about this year for you?
Oh, that was my sad thing that Peter Capaldi just kind of ruined Doctor Who for me.
My sad thing was Wes Craven dying and Christopher Lee dying. They were my idols. And speaking of which, with Wes Craven, I want to know who's going to do the new Nightmare on Elm Street reboot. Well, it's not really a reboot. It's just going on with the series. And I'm glad they're having Robert Englund back as Freddy. I missed that.
See, I'm not into that kind of thing. I'm more into the sci-fi. I'm a big comedy. My girlfriend gets really upset because I love comedies. I'd prefer to watch a lot of comedies over action or scary movies any day.
I love any type of movies except for documentaries.
I can't stand documentaries.
Yeah, no one can unless you're a teacher or.
Like, do you remember March of the Penguins? That went into the theater, and yes, it's interesting how penguins live, but I couldn't.
Also, was it Whoopi Goldberg or Morgan Freeman that did it?
Yeah, I think it was Morgan Freeman. I don't know.
It was a black person. That's what I would
say. They went to, like, it's just a lot of people went and saw it, and I tried to watch it. My grandma bought it, and I sat not even halfway, 10 minutes in, I got bored.
I think I left that movie and walked into like a scary movie.
I don't do scary movies. I do a lot of comedies, like. Oh,
Speaking of which, if any director hears this, please go back to slasher films. I'm sick of tired of your ghost bullshit.
Why don't we clean up our language a little bit, Zach?
Fine.
Okay. So anyway, back to our kind of 2015 recap. I know we're all over the board, but that's just kind of how it is.
We had a lot of we had the fappening happen.
Yes, we did.
So if anyone doesn't know what the fappening is, go on your internet.
They took them all down.
They did?
Yeah, they took most of them down.
Bullcrap.
That was what happened on the news.
Basically, the fappening is a hacker or a bunch of hackers went onto the iCloud because of technology these days. They went onto the iCloud and stole a bunch of celebrities' nude pictures from their phones. It was nice.
Which is kind of funny. Who would keep that on the cloud? I don't trust
Well,
the cloud as it
it's not
is,
on the
but
cloud. It's just some people leave the cloud on and then it's just on their phone. Like I didn't know that. Never mind. I'm gonna go too much into detail.
anyway, but that was a major event that had happened this past
That
year.
was like the best radio event.
If you didn't know what it was, now you do. It was something, and for some reason, it made huge headlines.
Well, of course, because it had Jennifer Lawrence nude and Scarlett Johansson.
Some of those decline that they actually had nude photos. Whether
Could have been photoshopped.
they could have been photoshopped. There are a lot of those out there too. You know, you do also have the guys who will Photoshop and say that they are actual pictures.
True.
So, getting back to our original topic.
What else happened? ISIS.
ISIS. That is the new thing.
With Paris. You know what? I didn't know that happened on the day it happened, and I felt like such a complete butthole because I'm like, what's the big deal about Paris, guys? And then they told me about it, and I was like, oh.
I knew that happened, and this may be a little bit of my redneck talking, but if you had guns, that wouldn't have never happened. Anyway, off that topic, because I know that will get huge response.
Just get hate comments
in a negative way. So that's all I'm going to say on that. I will try not to bring it up much more. Anyway, it was a big tragedy.
That was a big tragedy.
I hate when stuff like that happens. It's
yeah. You know, also was a big tragedy.
What?
Hot Tub Time Machine 2.
I did not see that. I saw the first
gave
one.
Me ass cancer.
I saw the first one. Hey, watch your language again.
Sorry.
Okay. No, I saw the first one. I own the first one, which
first
means
one
I have
because I had John Cusack in it.
That means I have to buy the second one.
No, you don't.
Yes, I do.
I'm saving your money, dude.
It's my thing. I have to. If I own one, I have to. Like The Hangover series. I own all three.
I never saw the third one.
I don't like 2. 3, and just a spoiler alert in case you haven't seen it, 3 was a lot better than 2. They should have done. Yes, it was, because it was a build on of the first one. What they should have done is they should have, and again, directors, writers of any TV shows, just a little feedback here. They should have foregone the second movie and made the concept for the third movie the second movie. Make that the sequel, end it like that. Because what it was is like things that had happened in Vegas came back to haunt them.
Okay, that
so that would have made a better sequel.
I mean, this is big spoilers.
Like it would have made a better second movie than it would have a first movie or a third movie.
Going back to 2015, what else happened? We had a lot of. We had Star Wars, which was awesome.
We did have Star Wars.
Yeah.
But why don't we move on, because we are getting low on time.
Yeah.
As far as Spreaker is concerned, which is the other app that I'm using. On to this year. We thought it'd be kind of cool to share what our hopes are for this year and things that we would like to see.
Better movies.
We would all hope that you would like to see some of the same things. And if you don't, or if there's something that you see that we haven't said, feel free to Facebook message us.
Also, a new idea on the table. We might do reviews on certain movies.
We could do that too. I do have a friend that
disclaimer: it will be harshly reviewed.
If we do that, we might bring in my friend every once in a while. His name's Matthew. He was doing this thing. It got a little bit too much since he was in school, but he was doing this thing called The Only Opinion on YouTube. You might want to check it out. It was really cool because he would review movies, and he would review old movies. If you go on there, he's still got them up. He did a review of all the Fast and the Furious movies leading up to 7. And then, fun fact, he took me and my girlfriend and I, out to the movie to see 7. We bought him popcorn, he bought us the tickets. I know it's kind of an unfair trade, but he just bought me the tickets, and it was a really great experience, and I was glad I shared it with him because 7 is such an awesome movie. Again, spoiler alert, if you haven't seen 7, the ending is phenomenal. I suggest that you go and see it.
Another thing is, because I work at a movie theater, I get to see movies like a week before they do. So if you guys want, I can give you reviews on movies that just came out before they can even come out.
Yeah,
Like
that'll definitely give us a little bit of an upper hand.
I got to see Star Wars a whole week before it even came out.
And I still haven't seen Star Wars. Don't hate me. I'm broken,
So if you
temporarily
guys
laid
want
off from
reviews
work.
on
So,
those, and I can save your money for the movie theater, we can always try that.
and as my friend says, remember, there's only one opinion that matters, and that is yours. We can tell you all we want how much we did and didn't like the movie and what we did and didn't like
I was
about
gonna
it.
say my opinion matters.
Not to everybody else. But like we can tell you all we want to, but the only opinion that really resonates with you is your opinion.
That's true.
If you can't go off like yeah, if you're like, "Oh, well that doesn't sound like a good movie." And then you think about it and you're like, "Well, it sounds like a movie I might like." Go and see it. Like don't listen to us. But if it's a movie that you like, I'll do this a lot. If it's a movie that just the concept of the movie is not something that I feel like I want to watch, and then I hear bad reviews about it on top of that, I won't watch it.
True.
So like I said, as long as if we do get into that, I would always make sure that you know that your opinion is the most important. And again, both this show and if we start up that show or whatever other future endeavors we do, we always love feedback.
Yeah.
So in future
Especially
shows,
like if it's positive or not strictly negative, but like if you're saying just to help us out, then
I
that's we'll take it. But if it's like someone
I don't
calling
like
us
negative
poo,
reviews,
if
but
it's someone giving us poo bag stuff, then I have a very particular set of skills that I've learned over time. I will find you and I will cuddle you.
Liam Neeson, go back to your cage.
No.
Yeah. Okay. And thank you for the language, by the way. Poopy, that was a good
I know.
touch.
I need to watch my language.
It's you know what though, you're doing a pretty good job so far.
Yay!
The first part of the broadcast, I was kind of a little bit worried about you, but I think you caught up
If Game Grumps can swear, why can't I?
because we're podcasting, and if little kids want to watch our show, I'd prefer that little kids are able to watch.
Oh
our
my god!
show.
If little kids are watching our show, it'd be even funnier.
It would be, but not really, because I really don't want to
So
get parent complaints
I am
that
a
we
very-
are too.
I am a very bad influence.
So anyway,
How much time we got left?
we got some time. Let's.
All right.
So what are your hopes for 2016?
I'm hoping that Leonardo DiCaprio will finally win an Oscar.
Amen.
Because that movie, Revenant, was the best movie I've ever seen. Well, not really the best, but like best acting I've ever seen him do.
Well, I mean, come on. If you look at a lot of his other movies, Wolf of Wall Street was good.
Yeah, but that movie had no plot, basically.
But that's not his fault. He played the part
I know.
to the best of his ability.
He plays every part to the best of his ability.
You know, I mean, come on. I can think of one
He's
song
Leonardo
that just
DiCaprio.
would remind us of him falling down into the water. I mean, come on now.
Yeah.
No, but it's a little movie called Titanic. No, but I mean, if you think about it, okay, so you've got Inception, which is it is a great movie, but
It's a great
you
movie.
need to
When
follow
I
along.
first saw it, I didn't like it, but if you have the same
It's-
effects, watch it again, and then you'll start to like it. Like I had to watch it 2 times in order to like it, and it liked it.
You probably had to watch it 2 times in order to understand what was going on.
Yeah.
One of the funny things about it is I originally watched it when I was in high school. It was part of one of my English classes, and the teacher would actually periodically stop, and I'm like, okay, why would you stop? I completely understand what's going on. But there were a lot of people that were confused about that movie. But there is a thing where, like, I've learned over my lifetime that a lot of people think differently. Especially me, since I have ADHD and ADD. And I'm dyslexic. And so because I've got all that going on, I think a lot differently and have a different view on everything else.
And I'm ADD, and I'm not dyslexic. I have a language processing disorder, so I'll stutter a lot.
I really have not heard this man stutter the entire time that I've known him, which hasn't even been a year yet. But
Oh, I have. It's just it's not that noticeable.
well,
It's hard for me to come up with words.
anyway, no. But if you look at a lot of Leonardo DiCaprio's movies, he is a good movie, and I think he deserves
He
deserves
deserves
an
any
Oscar.
award. But yeah, that and I'm hoping for the new movies, the new superhero. I'm sorry, but I'm gonna be talking a lot about movies. That's one of my biggest loves. But I'm hoping for superhero movies to be good. I know Deadpool's going to be good. Uh, let's see, something that's not included in the movie. I need to think of something that's not movies to keep people focused. I'm just hoping that I don't know. I hope that we don't get screwed for the presidential elections.
We're not gonna get too far into that,
I
but
mean, I'm not going to get too far
I
into
mean,
that.
in
I'm not
the end,
politically,
as long as we,
as long as we're not
as a
screwed.
country, start to thrive.
Let's make America the greatest country again, because right now it's not.
I mean, but it is a lot better than what it could be.
True.
If
Like
you
Africa.
look at that, there are a lot of countries that are far worse off than we are, and honestly, I love being an American. It is one of the things that just and I've talked to some other people and some friends of mine. I have a friend whose dad was in the Navy, and he's told me that if you go overseas, and this wasn't just from his military experience, it was from just going different places. He says a lot of times people will say that Americans are ignorant and we're full of ourselves. Well, we celebrate the freedoms because we realize, you know, what it is that makes us so happy and makes our country one of the great countries. I'm not
Yeah.
saying that there aren't great countries, but there are a lot of countries that do not have nearly as many rights or as much as we have.
It's very true.
So, on that note,
Yeah. What about you, Aaron? Any things you're hoping for 2016?
I'm hoping I make it through 2016. It would just be nice to
I hope I live.
to see 2017.
You never know.
I'm just curious to see what different series can bring. I know I follow a lot of different series. And I know
for like TVs.
yeah, TV series.
Yeah, they're making a lot of new TV shows lately. Have you seen that new show, Lucifer?
I have not,
Oh, it's so good.
but I have seen the new show How to Get Away with Murder.
All right, that one's a good show too.
And there is another show that I really love, and it goes back to the whole pathology, autopsy assistant thing.
Oh, Bones.
Forever.
Oh,
And Bones. I do like Bones.
Bones
But
is good.
Forever is really good. If you haven't seen it, it's on CBS. Look it up. Just look up Forever. It's actually a really good show. It's a show about a pathologist who is cursed and cannot die.
Is he like immortal? And
Yep,
that's
he's
the guy
immortal,
that
and he's been
fans-
studying death because he's found through being immortal that, and through not dying, that all the people that he loves dies, and he has to sit there and watch them.
Oh,
There's
that's
nothing he can do.
sadness.
But it's kind of cool because his son is like in his
Like 50s.
50s. Like his son is getting older. He's watching his son grow
That's
old.
sadder.
But it's kind of cool to see how his son will still help him out with his adventures and see
I
where
gotta check out that show.
it's a really good show.
Have you
I
seen
really
the
enjoy
show,
it.
How to Make a
I'm
Murder?
excited for it to come back out. What?
Have you seen the show How to Make a Murder?
I did not.
That one's it's interesting. But yeah, yeah.
Okay, guys. Well, we've only got about 1 minute left on the first app that we're using.
We'll have a second part out. We'll still talk more, but
yeah, we can.
we'll probably
do
have an
part
actual topic though, where we'll stick on to it.
Well, we can do part 2. It's only been a half hour.
True.
Again, this is our first show. We're just kind of breaking it in. We're kind of seeing where we want to go with it.
We're rookies.
We are rookies. And like I said, your feedback means the world to us. Because then we can improve our show so that you will like it. And honestly, we do this for fun. We could talk together. We could talk all day. But the thing is we, as broadcasters, want to talk about stuff that will appeal to you and want you to contribute to the conversation.
So give us some good feedback. We'll do some more for you guys. We'll actually do some funny stuff for you.
Well, we'll try.
We'll try.
I mean, some people, we think we're funny. A lot of other people don't think we're funny.
Mm.
But like I said, your feedback means everything to us. So we'll take a little quote-unquote break, and we'll restart a new session and get back with you in a second.
We'll probably tell more about ourselves and more topics.
And like I said, feedback is the number one thing. I'm actually on Facebook right now. So just let us know, give us some feedback, and tell us how we're doing.
All right, we all love you guys. We'll be back.
For now, I'm Aaron Clingingsmith,
I'm Zach Stone, gonna be famous.
and we'll be signing back on soon.